Okay, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Chu Adelang. Today, I'm going to talk about comprehensible input. Right? I've mentioned this term for like 2 episodes, but I still haven't really explained it. Right? I hope today I can explain it in this episode. Right? Okay. In the last 2 episodes, in the first episode, I have introduced myself and introduced how I learned 4 languages when I was in primary school, and 1 more when I was in the university. That was what I explained in first episode. In the second episode, I illustrate and I explained using an example. I explained why you can't master a language after a few years of learning, right? Even though you know the grammar, even though you know a lot of vocabularies, you still cannot speak the language. Why? Because this is very easy to understand if you look at the bicycle example. You know the physics of riding a bicycle, how to balancing it. You know all the things, but you still cannot ride the bicycle after listening to my explanation, correct? Yeah, this is why. Because of the conclusions in last episode. Knowing the knowledge doesn't equal to mastering the skill, right? Okay, so today I'm going to explain further, right? Explain further on the comprehensible input. So let us talk about how first. Then maybe in the next episode I will talk about why. So how to do comprehensible input? It's very easy nowadays because this concept is so famous, gets so famous in I think starting from last 3 years, right? So since last 3 years, this concept has been like popularized, but you know this concept is already very popular. I mean, it's already being established in last centuries, in 1980s, and yeah, I think it was being established in 1980s, and it was being established by Stephen Christian. I forgot the name. Let me check. Let me check it. Comprehensible input. So I forgot to check it before I start this. Comprehensible input. Okay, so this comprehensible input concept, this concept is being introduced by Dr. Stephen Krashen. Okay, I better write it down. Stephen Krashen. Okay, so how to do it? So Dr. Stephen suggested that we don't learn a language, we acquire a language. No matter how hard you learn, the grammar, the vocabularies, it doesn't work like that. You know, at the end, you still, when you want to master it, you still have to acquire it, right? What does it mean by acquiring a language? You imagine, or maybe you recall back if you have a very good memory. Do you remember how you learn a new language? Do you still remember how you learn your mother tongue? Do you learn? Do your parent teach you the mother tongue by teaching you the grammar, the vocabularies? I don't think so, right? For everybody, we learn our mother tongue naturally. Okay, so this comprehensible input is also suggesting that we learn a language, we acquire a language naturally. We should do it naturally, right? So Dr. Stefan don't encourage us to use the traditional method taught by school, right? He doesn't suggest us to learn a language by learning the grammar, the vocabularies, especially don't memorize the vocabularies, right? In China, when they learn English, they memorize the dictionaries, right? That is crazy. Even though they had already memorized one dictionary, they still cannot speak English, right? So you don't memorize vocabularies. So how to do it? You have to immerse yourself in the environment. Like in Malaysia, this is a very good environment for us to learn a lot of languages. We can learn, if you want, you can learn Tamil, you can learn the Indian language, right? But in here, it is a good environment for you to learn English, because in the company, in the office, we speak in English, and in the school, in the government agencies, we speak in Malay, and among Chinese, we speak Mandarin, right? Or maybe Cantonese. So you have to immerse yourself. That is why the Malaysians know a lot of languages. Everyone's is polyglot, because this is Malaysia accidentally have this environment for us, right? So you have to immerse yourself. Let's say you want to do like this, but it's quite hard for you because let's say I want to learn German, but I don't have any friend to talk German with me, right? How am I going to do it? Nowadays, this become very easy. You just need to type comprehensible input space German, and then there are a lot of resources for you to learn using this comprehensible input, right? If you want to learn Korean, you just write comprehensible input Korean. You want to learn Japanese, comprehensible input Japanese. There are a lot of resources, and what I notice is this kind of videos targeted for learners, beginners of comprehensible input are all made in these 4 years or 3 years, right? So yeah, so that is why I say this concept is so famous recently, become so famous recently, right? Okay, maybe I can give you some example to let you know what will you see in this kind of videos, comprehensible input videos in the YouTube. Das ist Ohren. I almost forget. Das ist Ohren. Das ist Augen. Do you understand? I think you understand. This is ears. This is eyes. Right? You understand. Even though I don't give you subtitles, even though I don't explain. I mean, before I explained in English just now, you have already understand. I think near to 90% what I am trying to show you. I want to tell you this is ears, this is eyes, right? Even though I don't explain in English, you will know. This is called comprehensible input. This is what illustrated by Dr. Stefan 40 years ago in the 1980s. He got a very famous video telling people how to learn a language in comprehensible input methodology. And he illustrated like this. He also speak in German. Das ist Ohren, das ist Augen, you know. This is how you do it. So in those kind of YouTube videos, you will see a lot of, I mean, everything will be explained in the targeted language. If you want to learn German, everything will be in German. There is no English, right? But they will have a lot of like in addition of the subtitles, they will have a lot of words, the font, the words coming out, you know, to help you. They will show you, this is the park, this is the house, this is the sky, this is the cloud, this is the TV, this is the table, in the targeted language, right? And also the YouTuber who is teaching your targeted language in comprehensible input method will also use a lot of like hand gestures, a lot of face expressions, you know, to tell you the stories, to tell you the vlog, doing their vlog in the targeted language. And that will be very interesting because people like to listen to stories, and by listening to stories you can learn a language, right? So the theory behind comprehensible input is comprehensible means understandable, right? Input means input, right? Put in. So the theory behind this concept is you focus on understanding. Das ist Ohren, das ist Augen. You do not need to pay special attention to what I speak. You just look at my face, look at my gestures, you know, and you try to understand what the message that I want you to know. Okay? You pay your attention on the message, and things will come naturally. The vocabularies, the Augen, the Ohren, the Augens will come naturally, because when you listen, of course, this thing doesn't happen for one time or two times. You have to listen for 100 times, or maybe like 20 times, maybe. Okay, Ohren, Augen, 20 times. Then naturally, this Ohren, this Augen, this new vocabularies will go into your mind, input into your mind. So don't worry about grammar. Don't worry about the vocabularies. You pay attention to the message that the person wants you to know. And then everything will come naturally, will input naturally. This is the idea introduced by Dr. Stephen Krashen. This is called the comprehensible input. And this has the scientific evidence to base. This has the scientific evidence to support it. A lot of people had already conducted the scientific experiments on this, and this is proven. This is the way humans learn a language, right? Even though you use the traditional method to learn grammar, you use a traditional method to learn vocabularies, it doesn't help. It doesn't help you to speak. When you speak, you have to listen. You have to listen first, right? Then only you can speak. You can understand. So that's all. I hope this explain how you can implement this, how you can use this method to learn a new language, right? Learning a new language nowadays is very important. This can help you to migrate. This can help you to get a new job, to earn more money, maybe, right? So for me, maybe I will share a little bit about my method to do it. I'm going to pick up again my German, because I feel so shame. I feel so shame because I still cannot speak a very complete German sentence. I can understand like maybe 40%, maybe, right? But I still cannot speak. So what I'm going to do in the coming months, I will use this method, like comprehensible input. I will do like what I have said just now. I will type in the YouTube comprehensible input German and find all those videos and keep watching it. Like watch. I don't want it to be fast. It's okay for me to watch just one video per day. Right? Whenever I see, I must click into it. All right. So this is what I tell myself. Whenever I see a comprehensible input in German language video, then I have to click. I have to watch. It's like 10 minutes per day. What is so difficult, right? So I will do it. I hope the people who are interested in learning a new language will also apply this method, implement this. Okay, that's all for today. Next episode will be more interesting. Okay, stay tuned.